Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. I want to pick up where we left off yesterday as we're talking about the 7 churches of Asia that John wrote these 7 letters to here in Revelations chapter 2 and 3. Now, as we said yesterday, these churches could very well represent the 7 different periods of church history from the Church of Ephesus all the way to present day, the Church of Laodicea, the apostate church. Ephesus, the church that began to stray away from its first love, a good church. Also, as I said, we're doing a little bit of an overview, and I think you'll also notice as you read the introduction to these 7 churches, the first thing that the Lord would say to the church, I know your works. I know who you are. I know what's going on inside you. Now, I just need to emphasize this for a moment here. We need to understand Jesus knows his church. Now, even though these churches could very well represent 7 stages or 7 ages of church history, they were specific churches in specific cities that God picked out for these letters to go to because they had specific people and needs in those churches and in the lives of those people. Now, and he says, I know your works. And I'm telling you today how we need to listen to that. We need to have our ears open because he would almost finish every letter to the church. He that has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. And so he says, I know. I want you to know, God not only knows your name. We love that song, He Knows Me by Name. But He knows what you're doing behind closed doors. He knows what's going on in every aspect of the church. He knows what's going on behind the closed doors in the meetings in the church. He knows what's going on not only outwardly, he knows what's going on in your heart as you perform your deeds, your good works, the things that you do in the church. I know your works. I know where you're at in your life. I know what's happening. I know why you're doing what you're doing. Oh, listen, that ought to wake us up to the truth that God knows us not only by name and loves us with a never-ending love, and the fact that He knows us like He knows us, has the hairs on our head counted, and He knows what's going on in our bodies. He knows we have cancer before the doctor knows it, and we know it. He knows we have COVID. He knows if we're going to get COVID. He knows everything about us, and yet He still loves us. He still cares for us, and He knows His church. He knows His church. He knows His local body of believers. And as I've said so many times already, and I hope you catch this, Jesus loved the church and died for the church. He gave Himself for the church. He cares for the church. He cares for it today. Your local assembly of baptized believers in the name of Jesus Christ. Now, as we look also, one of the things that gets said 7 times at least in each of the churches, he says, and to him that overcomes. To him that overcomes. To him that overcomes. And we might have to spend more time on this tomorrow, but I think it's interesting to note that not every person that's a member of a church necessarily means that they are in the family of God. They've been born again. There are a lot of false professors of Christianity. They say they're saved, they join the church, they get baptized, they become pastors, deacons, leaders, teachers, but it doesn't mean that they're truly in the family of God. And John talked about this. You remember in 1 John, they went out from us that it might be made manifest that they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have no doubt continued with us. And so there are false professors, people who profess Jesus Christ but do not possess Him. And my friend, they are not overcomers. But to him that overcomes, there are special blessings. And we're going to look at those overcomers tomorrow. But I just wanted to encourage you today. He knows us. He knows our name, yes, but He also knows our works. He knows our deeds. He knows the motives and intents of our hearts. And today we need to take thought about that and ask God to cleanse us, to wash us, to help us, and to love Him with all of our heart. Let's don't be like the church of Ephesus. They left their first love. Let's not be like the lukewarm church, neither cold nor hot. Oh, my friend, let's be hot for Jesus today with everything that's in us. God bless you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.